So welcome back to DecoyNoise and another episode of Am I the Antagonist? And am I the antagonist for putting up a picture of a couple in my shop's window that didn't pick up after their dog? So let's just get to the story right now. OP wrote, "Hello. So I run a shop with a big window and a very busy street. For the last month, a dog has been pooping around the area of my shop, and the owners did not pick up after it. I've had my suspicions about who it was and got visual confirmation last week. The day after I got visual confirmation, I caught them again in the act and snapped a picture of them. I then confronted them about it, and they basically told me to mind my own business. So I got the picture blown up, printed, with the title, 'These people don't pick up after the dog's poop. If you've walked in poop, they're to thank,' and stuck the poster on the window of my shop. I've been having a lot of amused comments by my customers, but the people in the picture have gone insane and have come by the shop many times to scream at me. I told them until they change their attitude, the poster is staying up. Regarding the law, I'm not too sure what side I'm on, but not picking up their dog's poop is definitely illegal and carries a hefty fine where I live, France, so I doubt they'll pursue legal action. Some of my friends said that I'm the antagonist here for publicly shaming them. The way I see it, they brought this upon themselves. So Reddit, am I the antagonist? So as always, gotta take the case and just rush it over to Decoy Court where I give you my knee-jerk reaction before we cover those top comments and the controversial comments. But I'll go ahead and say right now, right off the bat, is a common theme in Am I the Antagonist as a subreddit as a whole is, how dare you give me consequences for something that I did? Like, how dare you notice that thing? And is out of the box as this situation here is with, like, you know, blowing up the image and putting it in the shop window. If they just cleaned up after themselves or after their dog, after OP said, hey, don't do this in the first place, they really wouldn't be in this situation. So, like, I don't think they have anybody to blame but themselves. Like, yeah, it sucks that OP went out of their way to do all this stuff to them, but I really can't have too much sympathy for someone that dug their own grave in this situation. And as for the legality of this, like, you know, this is France, so I have no idea how it works over there, but I guess common sense would be someone actively committing a worse crime is never going to go to the authorities if someone counteracts with the lesser crime. Like, you know, case in point, if you catch someone like breaking into your home and then you say, hey, get out of here, and as they're fleeing away, if the homeowner takes a rock and just throws it through their rear window, I don't think anyone's really flagging down the cops there. Like, you know, hey officer, that guy there, he vandalized my property. I mean, I was committing a robbery, but, you know, I just want to make sure we both get in trouble here. Like, no, I don't think that's the case, but I mean, I guess we'd only judge OP in all these situations, and I'm gonna go ahead and say he's not the antagonist, even though he did some extra steps, so it could make him that. But I would have a hard time pointing at this guy, the OP, and saying, hey, you shouldn't have done that right there. You know, I'm sure OP could have gone to much greater lengths to get their justice, maybe something involving the dog itself or something like that, but they just did something as harmless as, like, you know, publicly shaming them for saying, hey, look, I noticed this thing happening. It wasn't even like they had their suspicions, they posted the pictures, or they caught them one time and they posted the picture, they had their suspicions, found out who it was, and the second they told them don't do it, and then took the picture. So it's like, you know, various forms of confirmation that these are the culprits here. So it's like, you know, it seems pretty harmless. It seems that they don't want to be just bystanders if someone's gonna disrespect their store. So I think that this is all in all a good thing. So I mean, earn yourself the Decoy coin before we take a short break and before we read the top comments and controversial comments, because it may change our mind, especially if someone comes in this thread with knowledge of how, like, France does their situations like this or what. And also, if you haven't already, please subscribe, put the notifications down below, because what I do here is, as I started going into less uploads, that it's just been harder for people to see my content. Like, they're subscribed, they watch everything, but it doesn't show up in their feed, so that's a little bit concerning to me, but you know what, we're just having fun. So let's go ahead and read that top comment right now. So this person says, a little public shame sounds exactly like what this couple needs, not the antagonist. We had a similar situation in our neighborhood. I finally talked to the guy about it, while his dog was actually mid-poop, so no way for him to deny it. He stammered for a while, and then he told me he leaves the poop to get hard and comes back later to pick it up. I burst out laughing and was laughing so hard I couldn't talk to him anymore. He wanted to argue, but the upside was that we've never seen him since, so success. And here's the thing, that's a little bit of public shaming. If someone's just laughing at your face, I mean, that's making the consequences kind of real to them, and the idea that he was going to come back and clean it up, that's just BS. Nobody does that. And you're supposed to, like, I mean, the only thing I could see with this situation right here is the dog was still going potty, so I mean, maybe he was gonna clean it up afterwards. You don't know, but let's see a reply to that. Haha, yeah, not the antagonist. You should have asked him to pick up after the dog had decided not to, and then decided not to, so you're just letting people know that it's their fault for the poop. If they no longer wish to have the sign up, then they can clean up after the dog. And, you know, I mean, I think the thing that OP was saying here was like, hey, until you change your attitude about this whole situation, that sign stays up. I'm going to publicly shame you. As long as you're being a jerk to me, I'm going to be a jerk to you. So I do understand where they're coming from that. But let's go ahead and read one more top comment. Not the antagonist here. They let their dog poop in public and didn't pick it up. Why would they expect to be shamed in private for that? Also, hilarious move on your part, and then applause emojis. And they said, I'd bag the dog poop up and at the end of the week give it back to them saying you forgot this, not the antagonist. And that's what I was kind of alluding to a little bit earlier on, is like they could have probably done much worse in this whole situation with, like, you know, giving them the poop back, taking it and flinging it at them with like a lacrosse stick or whatever they have available. I mean, there's much more worse things they could have done other than just posting a picture and publicly shaming them. So I mean, hey, this, like I said, it's kind of an antagonist move to make, but I'm not gonna say that they're the antagonist in the situation. So another top reply was, not the antagonist. You didn't do this in secret. You were minding your own business, literally. Yeah, they told you to mind your own business. He's like, this is my business, so I'm gonna make it your business, and I get that right there. So the next reply was, not the antagonist. Stores do this all the time when they post photos of shoplifters. Public shaming is a strong deterrent. I don't know France's specific laws on public photography, but most places allow you to photograph someone in public without their consent, so they can't even get you there. The only thing I would be saying with that is the whole like libel laws, like, you know, you're slandering somebody, and unless the image actually shows them in the act, they could probably say, hey, I'm gonna fight you in court now saying that my dog never pooped there. I don't know what you're talking about. They just posted a picture. Unless they can prove that with their video or something in court, like they're publicly shaming me. I gave them a bad review on Yelp, so they're trying to get back at me. So they could probably get them in that unless they had like some ironclad proof. But I mean, like I said, oftentimes someone doing a worse crime really isn't gonna get at you for doing a lesser crime. But let's go ahead and say, oh, so we have somebody from France that is actually really good. So I want to read this. France specifically has unusually strict laws about how much control you have over pictures of you. Not so much on whether you're allowed to take pictures or not, so much as what you can use the pictures after taking them. So that does make sense that France may be more specifically against this type of thing. I don't know, like, you know, that's where the thread ends. So I don't know if it's going to be much more strict, and it's going to be harder on OP to not get countersued or get sued for any of this situation right here. But I mean, yeah, I mean, people have done that. What is it? Someone like jumps in somebody's backyard to rob their house, and then their dog comes out and bites them. They say, oh, I'm gonna sue them because your dog bit me. How dare you have this very dangerous dog? And believe it or not, sometimes they're successful in those lawsuits. It's a ridiculous world we live in sometimes. But the next reply would be, not the antagonist. Enjoy the amusement of your patrons, and what the heck, enjoy the anger of the guilty couple. So it seems pretty clear cut. Every now and then I like to have a thread like this. It's just kind of funny to read over and everything, and there's not going to be much controversy back and forth or, you know, enlightenment of someone changing my mind, but maybe there will be. So let's go ahead and head over to those controversial comments right now to see if anybody's going to change our mind as to what's going on over here. Maybe Reddit just, like, you know, all pitchfork, what are we calling them now? Torch and pitchforks? So whatever it is, torch and pitchforks. I gotta learn how to say that word. So this person says, everyone sucks here. Look, what you did was probably the antagonist move. That being said, I think they deserve it, and the petty vindictive part of me definitely approves. So they got negative votes because they said everyone sucks here. And I understand what they mean by saying, like, hey, OP did kind of an antagonist move. Like, they didn't have to post a picture up there. They didn't have to do all that stuff, but sometimes it's necessary. If someone's punching me in the face, it is an antagonist move for me to punch somebody in the face, but in the context, yeah, I'm just defending myself at that point in time. So there's a necessary antagonist. I really need to make a new graphic in Photoshop to have, like, you know, you're the necessary antagonist. No one's blaming you for defending yourself. But let's go ahead and read some more controversial replies, which is, you're the antagonist, but I like you, so I guess more the same. And then another controversial comment would be, ooh, this is difficult as I legitimately despise the disgusting people who don't clean up after their pets and bad pet owners in general. But I also don't believe this is the kind of public shaming. Although I completely get it and sympathize with you, I have to go with everyone sucks here. Them for obvious reasons, they're the worst. You for publicly shaming, which I can't get behind even though it's something I would be sorely tempted to do in this situation. Have you contacted the appropriate authorities? Have you considered putting cameras up and warning those people that there is footage that will be going to the authorities? So the one thing I would say is, in an ideal universe, you'd have someone to reach out to and they'd, like, you know, get their fine. You'd be able to get, like, you know, the French police to come over and help you. But we don't live in that ideal world where, like, they're so overburdened with other things. And I don't know if this is a big city where they have a high crime rate. Oftentimes you're just gonna get an indifferent, like, you know, peace officer that comes to your store and says, wait, they're pooping on the thing. Yeah, we're not gonna get the surveillance van and watch them, or, you know, get take the photos and go cross-reference with the CSI team and stuff. It's dog poop. They're not going to do anything about it. So yeah, all this extra money, like why does OP have to go out there and buy high def cameras and go through all that trouble when they can just take the cell phone picture and put it in the window and that solve the problem? The only other issue that I see with this as well is just the idea that oftentimes I see a lot of people where someone, like, you know, rear ends their vehicle and they have a picture of them fleeing the scene, or that's a bad example, but like, you know, something happens to them, like, oh, that guy was trying to steal my wallet out of my purse and now they're running away, but I have a good picture of him, we're gonna get him now. And I'm like, see that from anybody else's perspective. They're the police officer or they're the attorney or whatever it may be. What is a blurry picture of the side profile of someone fleeing the scene gonna do for them? Not as much as you'd hope it would do. So a situation with this where, like, oh yeah, don't do the public shaming, go the right route, go through the legal system, go through the peace officers, do all that other situation. It's like, it's probably just gonna be more frustration for you when nothing happens. You're like, what, the system has failed me, and all that other stuff. I mean, I'm sure we could go down that other path, but I mean, that's really not what this channel is about. It's just about fun stories about people publicly shaming people over their dogs and stuff like that. So I mean, if you like that type of content, make sure you subscribe down below, all that stuff, yada yada. But as always, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, being on this channel as much as you have. I mean, Furlough DecoyNoise is fun. We're still able to do some episodes here. I'm really trying to ramp it up, but I do appreciate everybody that's stuck around with me as long as they have. I mean, it's kind of hard to find my content now. So if you're watching all of this, I really do appreciate you so much. So go ahead and watch the rest of the DecoyNoise episodes coming up next.